Alright, so this is a ASUS I was working on earlier. I thought I was recording yesterday, but I actually wasn't. There was only 10-second footage. My hand accidentally clicked on a button and it stopped recording. Basically, this is an ASUS laptop. I've already disassembled it, but I'll show you a video on assembling later on if the job gets completed. This was a laptop left to us a long time ago. Owner never turned up, and it's been sitting in the storage, and time to play around. So that's a 17.3 inch, probably a full HD, and that's the trackpad and the mouse and the keyboard. And the model is the G75V, ASUS G75V. It's a gaming laptop. So here is the motherboard, the baby. So it's a giant machine. It already had these two RAMs in there, 4 gig DDR3. This here is the LED status indicators, power charging, hard drive indicator, whatnot, Wi-Fi, and there's a card reader built in there, and the audio module on here as well. Audio, probably just the ports, and audio port, a controller must be on the board somewhere. So far I haven't done anything on it, just plugged in the power to see what happens, and did quick measurements around the board. Nothing interesting. Only one interesting thing I'll show you shortly. So this is the motherboard, CPU, graphic card is modular. That's nice, upgradable, maybe to a certain degree. So the owner of this never came back, and so it's in the spare parts now, and it's been in spare parts for a while, hoping the owner will come back. Our store shut down a long time ago, so now working from home, now just packing up all these leftovers and then moving on to other jobs and projects. So one interesting thing I found with this guy is the way the power adapter is behaving. Now what I mean by that is I've got two power supplies here. I've got a benchtop power supply, as you can see, 19 watts, and I've got here a universal 90 watts. It does up to 4.7 amps, I think. Sorry, 6 amps max. So this does 6 amps maximum. So for 19 volts, it will do 90 watts. That makes sense. And that's the ASUS tip. And the charging port was an interesting one. It's actually modular, just like this. So that's the charging port there. I've tested this. Power comes in, 19 watts comes in here. This little guy is fine. There isn't really any components on this, it's just wire. So let's put this in, and I'll show you the interesting behavior, and we'll maybe go from there. See if we can fix it, otherwise it's just going to go into recycling, spare parts. Not that anyone really wants to repair this model anymore. It's one of the older models. This most likely goes here. If I remember. Okay, so we'll have a look at the behavior as I mentioned earlier. So the behavior is this, so that's in multimeter mode. I'll plug in the charger, and the issue with this is charging light does not come on, and obviously it does not turn off. So plug that in. So notice the light hasn't gone off, meaning a protection has not switched on. No LED status, so it means AC or DC is not okay. There's a problem further somewhere, I don't know where, and I'll show you what I mean the problem is in terms of the power supply, the behavior, and you can make up your own mind. So okay, let's bring in the multimeter. What you will see is, I'll get a good ground. You can see there 19.3 volts. This is using the universal power supply. Now I'm going to plug in the benchtop power supply, and you can see on the benchtop it's showing 19.2. Here we read 19. Yeah, 19.2. Pretty spot on. Okay, now plug this in to the board. There was a big spark. Okay, and I was getting 13 volts around there, or something weird, and I don't know why. If you know why, if that happens again, if you know why, do let me know. I'd be curious to know. Huh? It's showing 19.23. It didn't do this yesterday. Wow. I swear it was showing, maybe around here it was showing that. Oh yeah. So here, with this adapter I'm getting 3 point, look at this, look at the way it's jumping. I'm not moving, I'm just holding it. Something's not right. Now I plug the benchtop, sorry, the external adapter, the 90 watt, at the same pinpoint location, same ground. Here, look at that. So how do you explain this? Now the area that I am pointing it to is here. Now what is that? Good question. I don't know. I don't have the schematics. But okay, we'll bring a sort of like a torch and just a magnifying glass so we can all see properly, maybe clearer. Yeah, it's that guy there. So that is a resistor. R010, R010. So it's supposed to provide the least resistance so that, you know, 19 volts of the power can pass through. But the interesting thing is the benchtop power supply is not going through. It's only going around 3 volts. What was that? 3 volts? Yeah, 3 and 3.8, 3.94. So let's have a look what that actually reads. Curious to know. I'll have a look on the microscope and I'll read out the value. R010, yeah. Okay, R010. So let's check that. So that reading there is correct. And here. That is correct. And here, yeah, I'm not gonna say that's incorrect. So I don't think the issue is there. Issue is definitely somewhere else. So best, I think we start from the base level, and that is remove the GPU, remove the heatsink, have a look at bare bone of the motherboard. Now there's too many screws for this model. I already filled up a container of different size screws. Let's continue filling up with a little bit more different ones. And I think the owner of this was an Italian student in Sydney many years ago. And I wonder what happened to him. And if you're watching this, you're welcome to come and pick it up. That's if I don't sell it already once fixed, or it's in recycling. Too bad. But I'll keep the hard drive for a few more years maybe in the archives. No harm done. It's crazy the amount of screws there are for this model. Well, that's the GPU, NVIDIA N13E-GE-A2. Whatever it is old. Maybe it has some life, I have no idea. Alright, so we're bare bones with the motherboard. Let's just remove the LED status indicator. And the power button, okay. Okay. That's pretty much it, I think. Let's have a quick look at visually, anything obvious that pops up. Okay, so let's have a look at it visually first. Alright, so let's have a look. We'll remove this RAM here. Even the RAM color matches the motherboard. That's nice. Okay. Hopefully that's big. Okay, so we see some tantalum capacitors, a lot of MOSFETs here, capacitors, there could be a BIOS chip here, RAM area, coil, capacitors, CPU area, inductors, rich tech. So this one has rich tech chips, couple of MOSFETs, hopefully the problem is obvious. That's the IT area. Seems to be a bit of a mark there. I don't know why. Maybe it's heated up, maybe burned. I don't know. Like you see the ITE logo. See how it is a bit dark color there. I don't know why. But we should keep that in mind. Alright, now let's check the other side. So this has 4 RAM slots, so it can go up to 32 gigs, I guess, or maybe 16. That's a very large CPU. Yeah, that wire chip, wire. Is that an audio chip? This also has a little bit of mark. I don't know what's going on. Could it have been liquid? And I don't have a history of this. I do feel maybe there was some sort of liquid. Maybe, I'm not sure. So let's come in with ohms mode. Let's check resistance to ground. Let's have a look. Start on this side. So these will be, so if they're around CPU, they should be quite low. Yes, that is low. So they're fine. How about here? So we're all good there. There's no issues there. How about here? Kilo ohm range. Could be RAM related. Most likely RAM. 5 volt, 3 volt. I would say they will be in the mega ohms range. Okay, let's move on from here. That's maybe RAM or a chipset, I'm not sure. Good. 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 Okay, interesting. So these two have very different values, although they're quite similar in the area. Okay, let me get a proper joint. And this guy. Okay, no, we're fine. I really don't know. I really don't know here. That's the Wi-Fi chip. Let's remove that. What's the battery voltage? That's pretty good. Okay. Okay, so we don't have anything on the CPU, nothing. Because CPU can be removed, means we can inject a little bit of power and maybe only chance of burning the chipset or the ITE, but I think they will be in the 3 volt range, so we'll be safe with 1 volt injections. Why don't we do that? Because we're only interested in the power. I don't think we need CPU in there to give us a LED status for the power charger connected. That's what we're trying to fix. And if we can fix that, I think we can fix the rest of the board where it may just turn on. Okay, so let's isolate the CPU. He needs to go to a special place so we don't damage him. So let's put in the front connectors again. try using the power adapter from the 90-watt power supply, and as you can see, nothing. And if we plug in the power button, wow, that turned on. That wasn't turned on before. So what gives? Let's try the benchtop power supply. Power button. It won't turn on. What the hell? I think maybe the inner pin is not making proper contact. Let's ignore that for now. Well, I'm curious. Let me have a quick look at this. ASUS. Maybe this one. Nope. This looks more like it. Yep. How about you? Nope. That is very interesting. I don't think it's the adapter, I mean the connection here, because we do have 19 volts. If we check around here, I've never met this kind of problem. See, 19 volts, but I checked that resistor here. What? 19.2. In the other adapter I wasn't getting that. Is it gonna power on now? No. What the hell? Now let's try using the 90 watt adapter. No, the lights are on. Wow, I don't understand this. Okay. Okay, so let's reverse the process, put some things back. Okay, let's bring in the CPU. SR0UX i7 third generation. Give them a quick clean too. Maybe the system will work, I don't know. That may be a lot, but this is an old system. It might not survive. Okay, so let's do another turn on test. Just with the RAM, CPU, no GPU. and plug in a keyboard. See if you get a num lock or caps lock light blinking. Everything is dusty with this computer. Fan is on, spinning. That looks like maximum fan speed. Yeah. System is currently on. Caps lock. Jeez. So what was wrong with the system originally? Power adapter issues? Could be that I went through all this trouble for nothing. And kept the system for so long for nothing as well. Who knows? Let's put the rest of the system. Maybe we'll find another problem. So what's going on here? So maybe without a GPU, the system will also work. If it does, that's fantastic. So if the GPU dies, remove, and you have a nice Intel chip maybe, I have no idea. NVIDIA N13E. GEA2 GTX 660M. Wow, that is old, but at its time it was, you know, like the current. So we'll do another test by putting this in and then putting in the fan. See how the system goes. Could it be because my power supply is not giving the 6 amp it needs? I have no idea. So did they put a thermal paste? This stuff. Why don't we clean all that up? Put thermal pads. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Bit of cleaning to do. Okay. If you pull out a graphic card and remove its fans or fancy cooling, whatever, you'll just see exactly the same thing. Coils, MOSFETs, and RAM chips. Okay, so let's clean this fan out. Alright, need to find the thermal pads, and looks like they have relocated themselves. I'll be right back. Okay. We got some pre-cut ones, or we can cut our own ones. Okay. Hope we don't waste them. Well, they're quite cheap, but you know. Yeah, so I hope we're not wasting them. Is that it? Let's just check behind the heatsink. So this would normally sit like this. That's covering there. That's there, that's there, 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 and there. Should be fine. Okay. The other things go like that. And screw straight down. Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, first box finished. Now, I guess this is the real test. Let's bring in a HDMI out. HDMI. Come on. Don't eat the cable. Let it go. Jesus. Even the port is dirty. Everything's dirty. I'll be eating dust for dinner. Okay. Alright, so now we got a HDMI connection. I'm going to turn the laptop on and we may lose the GoPro connection. We should see the ASUS logo. Maybe it will boot straight into BIOS. That's my expectation. Here we go. Interesting behavior now. So connecting the GPU, that's the behavior we're getting. Cool. Cool, as in the problem may be the GPU. And maybe something there is shorting. Okay. Check the power. Yep. Okay. Good to know. Let's disconnect the HDMI cable just to be sure. Same. Okay, so we've got the GPU out, plug in the power. So it didn't turn on. Could it be the Wi-Fi chip? Let me plug this in. Okay, that turns on. CPU fan max. And keyboard light is well, it's not connected, obviously. So keyboard light is on. Okay, so let's say the GPU is at fault. See if there is an integrated Intel BIOS, graphic chip. Maybe that will kick in. Oh yeah, input change to HDMI automatically. See if you get an output. Waiting for signal. No signal. So it most likely needs the GPU to work for HDMI connection to work. Okay, so we know the problem is with the GPU. Interesting. Let's cut this power. And we're back to the wrong input. Hi. Another wrong input. Okay. So the problem with this computer is not the motherboard. or power supply, or the BIOS. I think it's to do with the GPU. So it should be cheap to order one of these, right? I may have another one of these ASUS family lying around, but I've never fixed a GPU before. Maybe we can give it a go. Let's check the graphic card. Most likely a MOSFET maybe. They have a lot of MOSFET on them. That's ground. Okay, that's just ground. How about, let's check this coil. Coil is good. Let's check some capacitors, see if there's any shorts. Small area to work with, so it should be easy, I reckon. Maybe that's not really a short. 0.01, not sure. How about here? How about here? Alright, so what's the best way to do this? Let's clean this board completely. Give all these things back to the other guy. Okay, we'll have a look at that later. Okay. maybe the problem is not the GPU, something else on the board on the other side. Okay. I'm going to have a quick look on the microscope, see if anything obvious comes to my attention. Okay, let's start from this top area. These MOSFETs look so easy to replace. Okay, let's have a look in continuity, see if any of the MOSFETs are open. And maybe they're meant to be open, I have no idea. So, just check. So that's closed. That's closed, 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 is open. That's open, that's open. Not open. Try again. Is also open, 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 open. Closed, closed, check here, so if there is a problem, it's here, and I suspect now, I don't know why I didn't check resistance to ground on these coils, maybe I didn't see them, yeah. Very obvious. Okay. 16. 16. 16. Okay. What do you reckon? That's 0. That's 16. So that capacitor is fine. The one that I checked earlier was here. 16. Okay, so we're all good here. So that's not a capacitor, that's something else. There is this side as well. They're memory chips. But there is this green stuff. I don't know what that is. I'll just have a look at these capacitors under the microscope. These guys here. Let's say the problem is not the GPU. Let's say the problem is with the motherboard, where it connects, or maybe where it gets its power from. Around here. Let's have a look on the microscope around here especially. Just an idea. There are MOSFETs here too. Let me see if they're open. Nope. Capacitors here. I think they're inductors, these ones here. They're not really capacitor. That's fine. So the issue only presents itself when it's connected. What we should do is this: plug in the power, turn the computer on, measure the voltages, measure the voltages around here and which is getting the highest voltage, and then we'll inject power there with the graphic card plugged in and see under the thermal cam where on the GPU it gets hot. What do you think of that idea? For that to happen, let's have another look here. Okay, we'll leave this open. Bring in the power. Okay, we need to turn it on. It's on. Okay, here we go. So we got here 5.3 volts. (3.2) 19 volts. Now let's have a look around these pins. The way we're going to look around there, I need to use microscope. I have to be careful not to short anything. 19 volts. (3.4) 0 (3.3) Okay, I think 19 volt rails are all around here. Let's confirm that. So we got the power out, continuity mode. See if all those pins are 19 volts. So what this is telling me, this GPU, this here is a 19 volt rail, which is in entirety this guy here. So that should be 19 volts. Let's check if that's shorted to ground. No. How about here? No. Okay, so isn't that ground? Apparently that screw is not ground. Okay. Here's ground. Let me check that. that's correct. So on the board here, yeah, interesting. So I'm learning this. So this entire part here is ground. That's all ground. Correct. The ground. Ground. Here, not ground. Quite a low resistance, isn't it? So, 19 volt comes in there. Let's play a little devilish game. Inject some power. See what happens when we put 19, not 19 volts, maybe just 1 volt. Okay, let's change our power cables. Okay, we need probes this time. Okay, what we can do, we can just use this guy. So power in. Okay. One volt. So he's not taking anything. That's also ground. So 19 volts here, nothing's happening. I mean, amp is not being taken, so well, I am an idiot most of the times. I think I've got this guy going the wrong way. Okay. All right. So GPU is most likely fine. Nope, I don't find an issue here. In that case, let's focus on the big bad boy here. Alright, so let's give it a ground. And what can we do? The probe. We need a 19 volt. Okay. Alright. 2.4 volts. Okay. So about 5.8 volts. Nothing. Okay. Let's put this GPU in. Okay, here we go. So in the system, nothing. Out of curiosity, without the fan connected, will it turn on? Same thing. What? Did it just turn on? Stay on? Okay, this is so strange. I don't understand the behavior. Try that again. I'm just gonna put a one of these help it stay cool. We got HDMI connected. See if you get a HDMI out. It's still on. Fan of the computer hasn't turned on. It's still got the on light. Okay, nothing. Weird behavior. Now, fan of this hasn't kicked in. Could it be because it hasn't detected this fan plugged in? Alright, this is very dodgy. Alright, let's remove this fan out of here. Okay, fan is in there. Put the power and hit the sink and the power button. Alright, same thing again. So why can't I see the same behavior with the other power supply? Interesting. There is 19 volts here. So 19 volts cuts as soon as I turn it on. Yeah? Alright. Let's take this out. Now we have to assume there's 19 volts there, which actually there is. So let's remove the power supply, plug the power unit in, and we check the power supply voltage here. Yep, okay. So we're gonna monitor the power here again. 19, press the power. See, it doesn't cut the power. Okay. So I don't think there's an issue with power supply of 19 volts here on the board. More of a okay. Let's do another way. Cut this power. Put this guy back in. Okay, let's bring the HDMI 5 and one more cup of the coffee. Okay. Alright, let's plug in the power. Ground. Now, we do know there is voltage of 19 volts here. Okay, let's continue along. So there should be 19 here. Oh, maybe here? Sorry, it should be here, yeah. 19 volts comes in here, and goes to here. Ah, okay. That's it there. And I guess that's ground. Okay. 19, 19. These are the drains. They're all drains. So it comes in here. And it comes out here. It's supposed to come out here. What's the gate? Gate is 0. Okay, just gonna have a look at that on the microscope. Alright, so now the gate, can't see anything. Gate is 0. Now I'm going to plug in the power, or sorry, press the power button, see what happens to this guy. Okay. So we should have 19 here, was it? Yep, 19 coming down here. Press the power button, 1, 2, 3. Drop, okay. And the source. Look at that. So it gets the power briefly and then dies. Briefly and then dies. And the gate tells it to open. As soon as it opens, something happens. Okay. So in my opinion, we know where to inject power now. And so let's take this out. Hopefully I found it. Like an idiot, I forgot to take the power cable out. Okay, so annoying. Something simple. Okay. Time for fun. Injection. Okay, let's bring down the voltage. Let's just say 0.6 at the source. Okay, so we can see the problem. Great. Okay, so the issue is after that, and so now we can bring in the big bad boy, which is the thermal cam. Alright. I've never done a repair of a graphic card. There's not a big business here, I think. Maybe in other countries, yes. But look, if I can repair motherboards, I'm happy to do graphic cards. If anyone willing to bring them in. You will have to assume that I'm going to kill your board because it is not my speciality, but I'll do my best. All right. Okay. All right. 0.7. I'm not sure what we can see from 0.7. Alright, what temperatures are we getting? Something crazy? What's going on? Okay. Let's just bring it down to normality. So the area I'm interested in is this area here, and that's where the issue may be. So let's put the probe in the source. What the hell? Relax, mate. Okay, let's increase the voltage. Okay, nothing here. Let's have a look to a little bit more to the left. CPU getting hot. Really? So the GPU is shorted. Right. Shit. Okay. Who's up for reballing? I don't have template for this. I've got balls. Yeah, bummer. So basically the GPU is shorted to the ground. Alright, I'm just being called for an invitation for a dinner. A VIP, which is a little boy. And just do one more of this injection. Okay. All right. Yeah, that photo looks nice, which unfortunately is a GPU shorted. So one of the balls most likely making contact with the ground. Bummer that. Okay, so maybe I might get a GPU for this. Just replace it with another. Cheapest, quickest option. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to support this channel.